Okay, guys, welcome to the Zoom room on our Thursday night live presentation. Guys, first of all, I just want to say thank you for turning up today. You know, we always talk about 80% of the victory is already won when we actually just turn up. And we've got an awesome presentation tonight. We've got two of the top performers in Bitcoin Frontiers. It's going to come on here. I'm going to interview them. They're going to give us a few golden nuggets because obviously what they are doing at the moment is working. So, you know, I'm always, wherever I can learn, I welcome it with open hands, you know what I mean? You know, you always need to open yourself up for learning more. And that's the key to being successful. Guys, before we get started, before we bring our first guest on, I just wanted to tell you a small story. So I've been listening to a lot of Les Brown lately, and I can't get enough of him. And if you guys don't listen to Les Brown, I highly recommend his content. But something in particular, I just want to open with is something called Joe versus the volcano. Now, I'm not sure how old we are on here, but this is actually a movie. It's going back to the 80s. I believe it's the late 80s, early 90s. Now, can I have a show of hands? Has anybody seen the movie Joe versus the volcano? Anyone? Fair enough, no problem. So, Tom Hanks, one of my favorite actors, this is when he was just starting his career. Actually, Meg Ryan is in this movie as well. Now, Joe versus the volcano. So guys, can you tell me what happens or what do you feel when you're close to a volcano and volcano is about to erupt? What do you feel? Come on, just unmute yourself. Anyone, what do you feel? Come on. You feel what? You feel the heat. You feel the heat. Absolutely, guys. Now, listen, this is what happens a lot of times in life when you don't deal with certain situations or circumstances. You start to feel the heat. Have you ever heard the saying, oh, now I'm in hot water? Have you ever heard that saying? This is actually what happens. Now, I'm just going to quickly summarize the story of Joe versus the volcano. So Joe, Tom Hanks in this movie, he was this guy going to his job, but he hated his job. And Joe was one of the most miserable guys you could come across. He was very gloomy, you know, he was complaining about everything and anything in his life. And when you watch the movie as well, the movie depicts this quite nicely because even the whole photography and everything is quite gloomy. And Joe is going to work. You can see Joe does not want to be at work. Now, Joe is also a complainer, and he's got all these ailments that he comes up with, and he keeps on going back to the same doctor to look at all these ailments. But this doctor just had enough of Joe. So basically what he told Joe is, he said, Joe, you can have all my credit cards. You know, you can have, he gave him some money, take all my credit cards, and you can go away and live like a king. They also told Joe, sorry, I've actually missed this, he's only got 6 months left to live. Now, he was actually setting Joe up. Joe didn't have 6 months left with. But this is the thing, guys. If you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything. And this is what Joe was doing because he had no directions, he had no clear sort of direction he was going into. He was falling for everything. And this happened to me. I can relate to this. When I finished matric, I have no clue what I wanted to do with my life. I had no direction what I wanted to do with my life. And you know what happened? I got involved with drugs, you know, because I fell for everything. I got involved with the wrong friends. I got involved with drugs, and I went on this destructive path. It probably lasted about 5 or 6 years. And I always tell the story, if I didn't come to the UK, one of two things would have happened. I would have died in South Africa or would have ended up in prison. So remember that. If you don't stand for everything, for anything, you will fall for everything. Now, what this doctor told Joe is, he goes, on one condition, there's this volcano, this island, and somebody needs to sacrifice themselves so that everyone on this island can live. Somebody needs to throw themselves literally into this volcano. And good old Joe is like, oh, well, I've got nothing to live for anyway. I've got all this money. You know, I'm going to spend this money. Then I'm going to go sacrifice my life. I'm going to throw myself into this volcano. Now, guys, this volcano actually it almost symbolizes similar things in our lives as well, guys. You know, sometimes because we don't have any directions, we don't have any guidance, or we don't have strong fundamentals in our lives, we are willing to sacrifice our life. So this volcano might be alcoholism, it might be drugs, it might be a dead-end job, it might be a dead-end relationship. You know, it's funny, you get people that's married, but they don't even sleep in the same room. I mean, why do you want to live a life like that? You know what I mean? So because we don't have these strong boundaries, we don't have these strong directions, clear directions that we're heading into, we're basically just willing to stand or fall for everything. So this is what this volcano sort of symbolizes, basically. But guys, I'm going to come back to the story because there is an ending to the story. So I just wanted to start with the story, just make sort of getting it out there. Let's be clear on the path and the direction we want to go for. Let's be clear on what we want to achieve in life. Let's not sacrifice anything less than what we deserve in life, guys. If you are in a dead-end job and you don't enjoy, you are like Joe, you gloom, you've had enough. I'm not saying give up your job because that might be irresponsible. What I'm saying is put plans in place now so you don't have to go through that in the future. If you're in a relationship that no longer make you happy, you know, sometimes you don't have the courage to step up because we're not, you know, what's the word? We're not worthy. We feel we're not worthy, and we stay in certain relationships. You know, we don't have the courage to make a change in life. So my message, let's just think about it. What are we doing with our lives? Is our lives going in the right direction that we wanted to go into? I'm going to come back to the ending of Joe versus the Volcano. If you've not watched the movie, it's a very old movie. Back to the 80s, the 90s, but I recommend that you watch the movie. Guys, we're going to move on quickly. So first of all, what I wanted to do is I want to bring out my first guest. Now, guys, this guy has already had 13 direct sales, and he's only been in Bitcoin Frontiers for 7 weeks, I believe. 13 direct sales. He's got the most direct sales within the last 60 days within the company, and he's 10th, like, from when this company started, Bitcoin Frontiers. So I want to bring him out here and just find out how has he managed to create these type of results. So without further ado, Mano, come out here, buddy, and say hello to the people and welcome to the Zoom room. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good, and yourself, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, listen, just tell us a little bit about you. Now, your story is very interesting to me because this is the thing, guy. Mano, you still got, correct me if I'm wrong, you still have a full-time job, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So I'm very intrigued by your story because, you know, a lot of the time we say, oh, we don't have time, we've got so much going on in our lives, but here's someone that's made time for his side hustle. I spoke to him early in the week and he said he doesn't want to go back to a job for much longer, and that's why he's hustling so hard. So Mano, first of all, come out here and tell us just a little bit about yourself, buddy, please.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Romano Arnoldus. Okay, I'm gonna keep it very short. I have a training background of facilitating and leadership training, so I basically have no clue on how the online world works. And yes, so my reason for this, I think I must start from the beginning. Okay, so can I summarize? Can I just start, Ash?
Yes, summarize for us, please, buddy.
Okay, so the reason why I started this journey is because I needed financial freedom, or I needed money, and that's what we all need. And you know, I jumped into this opportunity that was presented because I saw a gateway. I saw a tool or a resource that can get me to where I want to be. Number one, I needed to get to my own space, meaning that because my wife and I, we lived with my in-laws because of financial restraints. I don't know this big English words. I'm going to try my best. All right, because I needed money and I needed something that's going to fuel or feed the rent where we're going to stay at, basically. And we had a previous business and it was starting to go well, but not at the speed that we needed. So we managed to get a place. We got in, and then the business started slagging. Then Bradley and Elton, I was there the day when you guys had your first interview or your first session.
Yeah.
And like, you now these guys are joining another opportunity. We're struggling here. How can we jump from one thing? So they were busy with the live. I think it was you and Sivi.
Yes.
You guys were busy there. I'm like, these guys are now dumping us now, and we are already struggling with this. But you know what? One thing that hit me was like, listen, I'm working my behind off to get one sale. Yeah, I have to sign up about 10 people. But yeah, I just need to get one to bite. And then I have my rent for the month. So then we're going to survive. And that's basically it. You know, it was birthed out of a need and a hunger and a desire for a better life for my family, firstly. And my space as a husband, and a space for my wife to be a wife, and for my child, a space to play in our own room type of thing. So that's my motivation daily.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that answers your...
Yeah, definitely. So you obviously have a big why there. So first of all, congratulations, buddy. I heard the story that, you know, you obviously lived with your in-laws, and then I believe it was after being in this program for 2 weeks, managed to move into your own place. Now, this is an amazing story. And now this is where we are changing people's life, you know, and this is the vision. When I brought this to Bradley and we discussed it, you know, we had the same vision, you know, we wanted to make an impact on people's life, and we felt that this is the right tool that can do this. Now, let's get into the good things, man. 13 direct sales within 7-8 weeks, man. How do you do that? Come on. Tell us.
Okay. Another thing is I have no experience, right, in this online business. So I need 2 hours with my family, because that's what we have when we come home. So the first 2 hours, we put our bags down as family time. 10 o'clock is when I start working online. Anytime in the morning, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you'll see me online. I'm busy hustling. So basically, I found a way, and I'll share it on the group as well. You know, instead of Facebook is quiet if you make a status, but no one wants to be put out there. No one will comment easily saying me, because it's now almal gaan sien type of thing. Yeah. Everybody's going to see it. So I managed to find a way where you can type a message inbox, and now you don't feel like you need them, but they also don't want to miss out type of thing. So I'll share I'll copy and paste it in the group as well. And this last four weeks, I've been getting crazy responses. Like, it's almost a definite, please send me information, please send me information. And that information directs them to the link, and the link does the magic. So basically, you just need them to want it, and you don't want to throw it in their faces.
I think we might have lost him.
Don't have time. But Bradley told me something once, and that's just what I also grabbed. He said that, look, if you don't treat this 10,000 Rand business or this 5,000 Rand business as if it is a 500,000 Rand business, then you're going to miss it. And another thing is, what I've realized, that if you have options, it's easy to procrastinate, because you have too many options. Now my dad still works. My husband makes a good salary. Oh, you're going to miss it. All right. You need to treat it as if this is your only income. I tell myself every day, listen, I'm treating this as if I'm going to get fired just now. I'm treating this as if something's going to happen. So this is my only thing. So from 10 until whatever time in the morning, I'm going to work this thing as if it's my only business. Yeah.
Wow, that is a good point. That's a good point. You know, you need to be strong on your why. And you say treat it as your business. I remember the first time I went it online full time. Actually, what I did was I took a sabbatical at work. I took a 6-month sabbatical. And I thought within that 6 months, I'm going to submerge myself into the online world, and I'm not going to go back to work. I had a lot of savings. So while I was in the 6 months, I was eating into my savings. So I was eating into my backup, because I didn't treat it online as my only option. And then what happened? After 6 months, guess what? I had to go back to work, but I've learned a lesson from there. So that's why, you've obviously got some great whys. But where it really hit me, where I decided no longer can I work for a boss is when I asked my boss because most of my family is still in South Africa, if I can go home to South Africa to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday. And my boss said, no, you can't. Just then I decided no longer am I'm gonna now put things in place to make sure that doesn't happen. Actually, I read a story. I think might have been Les Brown. He said he went to go speak at this firm. It might have been IBM, one of the top firms, and there was a lady in there, and she was smart, and she was the CEO of this company. And he knew she didn't have any formal education, he had nothing behind her, and he asked her, how did she manage to rise to the top of this prestigious company, become CEO? And she said one day she asked her husband for $10, and her husband told her, why do you want $10? And right there she decided that she's no longer obviously gonna wait for his money or for his handouts, and that's when she started her journey and she became CEO of this prestigious company. So you've obviously got strong whys, and you made some good points on there. So just quickly, just give us some few more golden nuggets that we can take away, like people that just come into this program, that's looking for some advice. They obviously want to be where you are. In 7 weeks, they want to have 13 direct sales. What would your sort of advice to them be? Manu, you still there? Okay, I think we may have lost him. Okay, cool. We might come back to him, but we'll move on quickly. Now, guys, I'm going to bring my next guest out here. Now, this is quite interesting because he's actually in the top 10 of the all-time leaderboard. I'm sorry to put your finance out there, buddy, but I believe he's made about $4,500 within 2 months. And I don't know, how much is that in rand? 80,000, 90,000 rand within 2 months. Man, that is a lot of money in a country where the average salary is about 5,000, 6,000 rand a month. This man has made 90,000 rand within 2 months. So, matey, Alton, drinks are on you when we come in September to do the official launch. So we're looking forward to that. But, also, I listen to a lot of Alton's content. He does some Facebook's lives. And unlike me, that just talks and don't think about what I'm saying, he's very thoughtful about what he's saying. There's always so much structure behind what he's saying. And I always enjoy listening to him. So much wisdom. So Alton, without further ado, you come out here and say hello to the people.
Yo, yo, yo! This isn't Darren. This is Alton. How are you, my man?
I'm good, Alton, man. How are you? You good?
I'm good, good, good. Thank you for inviting me to be able to speak tonight on this platform. Can you hear me?
Yeah, definitely. Loud and clear, buddy. Thank you so much. Listen, take us back a little bit before you got onto this online sort of world, or into this online world. Just take us back to sort of what was your breaking point and what brought you online or looking for some other forms of income in the first place.
Awesome, awesome. It was crazy because you started the conversation and it sounded as if we maybe rehearsed this, and you'll understand in a few seconds why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm from a facilitation platform background. I'm actually Romano's uncle. Did you know that?
I knew that. Actually, I wanted to say maybe it's just in the family. Maybe it's just the Arnolds. So, we all might be doomed. So, I don't know.
Change your surname, brother. Okay, but what happened is that 2000, I had a change of life and I went into youth development. So since 2013, full-time just in youth development. My field of study was the arts. So majored in fashion designing. That was in the 90s. But what happened there is that while I was studying, I was actually a teen alcoholic. So I was more in keg and frog than I was in the class. So in my third year, I dropped out. I started my first business during my second year. Back then, the label was called Chaos, and I lost the business. In fact, the company still exists till today. Um, in between youth development, clothing designing, I did some crazy things. Sure, my first gig was at a funeral parlor. That was my summer break job after school. Um, After losing my business, I washed the trucks for one of our dairy producers, local dairy producers. And because of me being artistic, also done some of the expos. Some other crazy thing I've done for a couple of years, I've done CNC machine where we made cylinders. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm currently 43, okay? And so 2, 3 years back, I wanted to get back into the job market and did interviews upon interviews upon interviews, and every door was shut in my face. Sorry, either you're told um, your years in the field is too, your experience is too high, couldn't afford me, that type of thing, and I was almost lost. Um, I had some history with network marketing, the likes of IFA, Boltron, Amway, but it was never successful for me. I'll be honest with you, I just couldn't get to that fifth person before I can get paid. I know we understand that one. Um, and then it was in 2017 that I was introduced to the online network marketing game and where you got paid in Bitcoin. That was 2017. Did it start off easy for me? No, 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 not really. But that was when it started for me in 2017. Was actually introduced to the gig by Bradley. I see your mic is off, so I just continue. Awesome, Brad.
Yeah. Continue.
Awesome.
We're hanging on to every word.
You lots of. So what happened is that 2017 September October, I paid my dues to get into the company, and I watched people make money for about 7 months, while I would get little to no income from that gig, and it was frustrating because I made my list. I made my list. I spoke to my list. My list chased me away. Because like there was just no's upon no upon another no and another no, and it was frustrating. It was frustrating, and I remember I went to some of the guys and I sat down with them, and they were talking about the money they were making. Sorry, and I asked how is it possible that after 7 months I'm getting little to zero, and you guys are talking about making money online, actually closing sales, and I was struggling. And there was a few things that they said, and this is what they said. They said you need to be visible. But I was like, I'm doing this Facebook thing. But I said, no, you need to get to know your product. You need to know your company. Be out there that the people see you. Like we always say, show up, show up and be present. So in that 7 months, I tried all of that. It was April. By April, it was 7 months since I've joined. So it was April, May, June, July. I was pushing these things that they were teaching me online. Watch what I say. Like Romano said, it's like when people are sleeping, you online. When people are in their homes, after family time, I was in my car, 19 kilometers out in somebody's house, presenting, talking, because we were very offline back then. And then what happened is that the fruit of my labor showed. All of a sudden, there was income. There was income. And what I found is that people started trusting me, trusting that I understood what I was talking about, trusting that what they saw was real because I was visible. Um, the other great thing is, and especially in the last since I've joined with Bitcoin Frontier, is that I'm no longer chasing people. It's crazy. I'm no longer chasing people. People are inquiring. People are asking the questions now. What happened is that yes, we still on Facebook. Yes, we still present. But what I found in the few months, and I'm talking a lot now, in the last few months prior to joining Bitcoin Frontier, is that my interaction on Facebook went from high interaction and it dwindled to almost 1, 2 likes, 2 comments. And what I found is that people, I went around and spoke to friends, and they're like, "No, we can't communicate with you. That's not you. You speak about business all the time. It's just business, 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 business." And I was like, I thought I was doing somebody a favor by putting these things out there. And what they wanted to know who I was. They wanted to know me. They wanted to see what's happening in my life. They wanted me back on my timeline. And what I've done is just that through the helping Darren, yourself, the Ari, I got myself back into my timeline again. And all of a sudden there's interaction again. To the fact that people, old schoolmates that's now staying overseas, are phoning, saying, "Look here, I've heard about this opportunity. I saw you there. I trust you. How can we go about getting involved?" That has been the breakthrough for me. Being present, showing up, studying, get to know stuff, and be yourself. And that people build rapport with people, people get to know you. That were the things that, and it's strange. When I heard these things, I couldn't understand that these things would bring people to your table, come and purchase from you. And all of a sudden it's working. So it's crazy. It's crazy for me, even saying these things. It's not supposed to make sense in my head.
Yeah, it's quite interesting what you say there, because first of all, to interrupt you, yeah, first, good points that you make there, you sometimes people compare their first chapter to somebody else's 10th chapter. So obviously before you've had so much success, you also had your struggles, and you alluded to that, you went through those struggles, and you were also in a situation where you were thinking, how is everybody else making money? And I'm sure there's people on this broadcast now, there's people within our team that's thinking, how is Alton made 4,500 within 7-8 weeks? You know what I mean? But guys, so what we wanted to say to you is now, just don't give up. Your time will come. And Alton, I was going to ask him, give us some golden nuggets, but there were so many golden nuggets in there already. Turn up, be consistent, make sure that you educate yourself. You know what I mean? And also the Facebook tips that he's given us. Awesome tips there. You have to be yourself. You need to be a person. Guys, this is your thing. Facebook wall is not eBay. So stop telling, let people know who you are. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. So it's important to give people a real insight of who you are. So awesome tips there. So 4,500 within 7-8. I mean, this blows me away. Guys, this is the interesting thing. So Bitcoin Frontiers, I don't know if you guys know, but it's got some of the best marketers in the industry that's promoting this thing. So you got people like Ari, you've got Darren, you got Michael Mansell. These are top marketers, guys. These guys takes away millions annually. And we've got people like Alton and Romano on the top of leaderboards. It is really, really amazing. Alton, so congratulations, man. But is there any other tips you want to give the guys that you think that might help them?
2 things. One, I believe in this saying that I've heard a few years back. It says that opportunity dances with those already on the dance floor. Can't be a wallflower. Can't be a wallflower and expect for opportunity to dance with you. Be present, be there. And then got to leave, really have to leave the guys with us that teamwork makes the dream work.
Mm.
Okay. But the flip side is also true. That dream work boosts that teamwork. Because if you haven't dreams, you don't have big whys, it's easy to jump off the wagon. But there's what I have in mind for what I want to do with my future. A salary, ordinary salary, will never be able to fund that. And that is the reason why I push, and I push, and I push. Thank you again, Mr. Esther.
Oh, thank you so much. So much knowledge and wisdom. And as I say, I always enjoy listening to you because I know you think about every word that comes out of your mouth. You know, unlike me, I just talk and talk and talk. But thank you so much, guys. I want to open up the floor. And if anybody's got any questions for Alton or for Romano, just unmute yourself. You know, this is an opportunity to ask people that's actually performing, is actually making a lot of money, you know. So take this opportunity, guys. If you've got any questions, come out, reach out to them, and ask the questions. So come on, guys, the floor is open. Any questions?
Ashton, can you hear me?
Who is that, Ricardo?
Yes, it's Ricardo.
Hi, Ricardo. The floor is yours. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Great stuff, man. I actually wanted to just ask Romano a question based on what he was telling us regarding the that message that he was going to share with us in the group that he's texting on Facebook Messenger. If he's going to be coming on again, I just wanted to ask him, how does he respond, you know, when he sent that message? If he can give us 1 or 2 examples of how that communication will flow. And also, if he does get someone trying to getting him into their business, how does he handle that scenario? Just a little bit more insight on that chatting, that communication.
Yeah.
I know, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, the message is, "Hi, how's it? How you doing?" So you are starting conversation, and it will lead. And I know it's out of the blue, but I would like to know if it's okay if I can send you a short video clip of my business opportunity. I'm passionate about, you know, teaching people how to be financially free. If you're not interested at all, it's 100% okay. No worries. I was just popping in to say if you're interested or not. Now they say, no, I'm already in a network marketing company. Then I say, perfect. Now that you're probably longer in the game than I am, would you please be so kind and just look at this 8-minute video clip? Just give me some tips, or should we add something or take something away? Now I know that our compensation plan is nothing like that. And I know once they've watched it, they're going to ask me, so how do I join? And that's how I'm recruiting the other people from the other side that way, because everybody say, no, I'm mining, I'm doing this. But then I say, yes, perfect. I started this only 4 weeks ago. You're probably longer in the game. Can you please just watch it for me and just give me any, you know, judge it or whatever you want to do it. Then they would normally spend 100%. So I'm giving value, and I know I'm going to get value back if they watch it when they join my team, type of thing. I don't know if that answers your question a bit.
Yeah, and just to get back onto what you were saying about the 8-minute video, is that a shortened version of the official sales video of the Bitcoin Frontiers?
Yes. Yep. That is, I think it's the same one, but I use the sales version 3 because that one includes the compensation plan as well at the end. So it doesn't just say you get paid 250 USD. It explains the whole power line, and that's what gets people more excited. So it's 8 minutes. Yeah, I've timed it, so it's nice 8-minute breakdown, and they normally give you feedback, and then they would say they're getting the monies together and they want the jump ship, which is good.
Awesome, man. Thanks. That answered my question. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, thanks. I'm gonna send it to the team now.
This is the crazy thing. This is actually quite funny. Romano hustled so hard that I've seen that message because he sent it to me and he tried to recruit me. I was like, buddy, what are you trying to do? But this is how hard he hustled. But this is the good thing, guys. I always like the story about the pellet gun, and you guys might think I'm completely crazy when I talk about this pellet gun. But it's when you get a pellet gun and you're shooting towards a target. Now, if you got one pellet in a pellet gun, likelihood of you missing that is probably quite high. But if you take 100 shots, you might hit the target at least once or twice, guys, you know. So, you know, it's part of those connections. I always talk about 25 connections a day. You know, you have to put yourself out there. You have to be consistent. You have to be asking the closing questions loads of times, you know. Ray Higdon said it's okay to have a low productive day, don't have a no productive day. So, you know, your aim should be to at least get somebody to watch that video once a day. And this is the thing, guys, you know, Romano explained it perfectly there. You talk about, it's not actually up to you to talk about the company. You can introduce them to your company, but then you get out of your way and send them towards the video, because the video talks about the company. A lot of the time, people actually talk themselves out of a sale because they couldn't close them out. This is the problem, guys. When you become too technical and you talk too much about your product, you know what you do is psychologically you're telling a prospect that they need to know as much as you do in order to sell a product. So, you know, you build a relationship, you know, and then when you bridge over to business, as Romano just sort of alluded to there, you send them the video and you get out of your own way and you get out of their way, and then money is literally in the follow-up. Okay, guys, so I'm going to open up the floor again. Any more questions for Alton or Romano? Going once, going twice, going thrice. No more questions. Okay, guys, if there's no more questions, you know, Alton, Romano, they're both in the group. If you guys want to reach out to them, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to ask any more questions if you don't want to ask the questions in the Zoom room tonight. But Romano, Alton, that was really awesome. So many golden nuggets on there. You know, congratulations so much on your success. And as I said, it must be in the family. It must be in the bloodline. So well done, guys. Keep it going, keep it going. Okay, cool. So I'm excited to get back to my story. So, Joe, this is the volcano. We're just going to end things off now, guys. We've been on here for almost 40 minutes already. So, yeah, so this doctor obviously gave Joe all his credit cards, but he had to sacrifice his life. So he told him, go live like a king and go die as a man, basically. Guys, now here's a question for you. I asked us all to bring a pen and paper with. Now I'm gonna get quite gloomy and dark here, but here's a question for you. If you got the same news as Joe versus the volcano, and the doctor tells you that you've got 3 months left to live, 3 months left to live, you know, what is the things in your life that you would change or that you would start doing? Now, if you've got a pen with you guys, just think about it for a few minutes and just write that down. Just think about it for a few minutes. You know, if you get this bad news today and the doctor tells you you've got 3 months left to live, what would you do within that last 3 months? What are the things that you would change in your life? Because this is interesting. A scientist actually, you know, he did a study on some of his patients that was given this news that they had 3 months left to live, they had 6 months left to live. And you know what? As soon as they got that, 80% of them, as soon as they got that news, they actually start living their life. They actually start living their life. So here's a question for you guys. If you've got 3 months left to live, would you do the same job that you're in now? If you've got 3 months left to live, would you have the same relationships that you're in now? Would you have the same people around you? If you've got 3 months to live, would you want more out of your life? Is there something in your life that you would really do because you know you've only got 3 months left to live? So, you know, that's something we can ponder on, guys, because this is the thing, guys. There's nothing to say, and I said I'm going to get quite dark and gloomy here. There's nothing to say that we've got 3 months left. You know, there was people that was here yesterday that's not here today, you know. So we could have 3 months left to live. We could have 6 months left to live. But guys, don't wait until we get told that we're dying before we start living, you know. Make changes in your life. If there's something that you really want to do, we've only got one life, guys. And I know it's not as easy as just walking into your job and giving up your job, you know, but at least put plans in place, you know, have something different. Because guess what? If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So guys, that's just something I want you to think about. You know, if you want more in your life, it's your life, go take it, you know, because abundance is our birthright, guys, you know. Don't die wondering, basically. So guys, that's it. Sorry to end on such a gloomy mood, but this was a fantastic Zoom call. I really enjoyed it. Thank you again to our guest speakers, Alton and Romano. Thank you very much for everybody turning up. So guys, let's go get it. Thank you. Come all out and let's say goodbye to one another. Let me unmute yourself and let's say goodbye to one another.
Goodbye.
Yes, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Awesome.
Bye.